Greetings, Dan Halligan with Canty Games, and we have a cozy little spot here for a solo playthrough with Obsession and the characters expansion. That's Mama and Baby, along with the upstairs, downstairs servants. And we got a little dice tower here for our rolls. We got a characters expansion opponent, Gwynedd, who's going to take me outside and stuff me in a garbage can so you can laugh at me, because these are real games, and I remember when I did this game, it was like a once-in-a-lifetime game. I'm going to get smoked so bad, but I know you enjoy my defeats more than my victories. Extended side, obviously closed courtship. These little red markers are just to indicate my thoughts, which, as I said in the other film, can be reduced to a chunk of wood. Those things I'm keeping an eye on. We're using the intensive service variant. We got the sideboard set up. We got the Reverend who helps you with objectives. I call this Victorian urgent care. You got the Reverend that helps you with objectives. You've got the Constable to take care of bad guests. You've got the Dowager that gives all sorts of benefits, but the real meaningful one is it helps you get into that prestige deck if you're having trouble with that. And the second chance servants have sort of a different application in solo. I will cover if and when I get to it. If you don't need urgent care, it's theoretically possible you never go there. That's fine. It's not intended to force you to do something different. Your core game stays the same. But if you do get punched in the nose by Victorian fate, you can go over to urgent care. This is probably the nurse, the triage nurse. She'll patch up your bloody nose. This is the doctor. That's where you're going to be rushed into surgery. That's where the big help comes from. So we'll see how that works. I got a nice bag made for me by Stephanie. It's unique. It's velvet. You can't have one. Ha ha ha. It's all mine. And I'm going to film straight through, even though I'm going to forget some things, because that's my middle name. Forget some things. We're using the Charles with the 300 pounds. There, so that's sort of nice. We'll see if he comes into play. We chose the York board. We chose the Useful Man for upstairs, downstairs servant. You might say, why not the Cook? Because I think the Useful Man has some real powers in that first season, not only enhancing that private study play, that village fair, but also being able to play second level tiles in the first season to sort of get a courtship leg up. This was populated after I collected all of this, but very typical to second level tiles. We've got our objectives, and there's 4 seated with the Reverend. And on my hand, I've got, these are random. I've got 2 ladies, good. I got 1 without service requirement, good. And I have no casual guest invite, bad. And I chose the Mother's brilliant ability to exempt a gentry card from needing a servant. Not something you typically use early, because I only need 1 servant now. I don't have anybody needing a servant. But late, That was me doing a bad chef smack of the lips. All right, let's get ready, and let's... Oh, wait, no, I should give you first a little look at my objective cards, which I'm not particularly thrilled with. These 2, which is... I can't remember ever getting this particular combo. It's 1 of every servant, the men, the ladies. And I don't like that. I mean, I'm not going to achieve that. And it's 11 points combined, so sad face. I like this. That's why I've got that there. Delicious. Conservatory plus a library, very doable. I've never been a big fan of this. I know you guys like to use the Builder's Holiday to sort of slam this home by picking up the 2 prestige rated 1 tiles from your reserve over there. I've never had an affinity for that. And now I think we are ready to rock and roll. So round 1, I'm going to go ahead and set up. Okay, I had indicated interest in those 2 tiles, brushing room for my York, having 2 footmen. I think the butler's pantry is more valuable, so that's why I'm going with this setup here. I'm going to get 500. Beautiful coin. I don't think I've ever shown in too much detail the obsession elements on the back. You can see the rose, the fleur-de-lis, the lion rampant, courtship couple, and the starter guest crown, making a little crest. The wash on this is heavy. The latest round, the wash is lightening up. I'm waiting to get that, and I'll have that soon. So I get 500, and we look at 2 guests and keep 1 for the lady of the house. Oh, sorry, Zachary, you're going to lose out. 2. Honorable Ezekiel Stanhope, the adopted son of Lord Stanhope, has an interest in law, which he intends to pursue after enjoying Baslow society. A bit of a socialite. You can see that is a prototype card. Has a screen and refreshes a casual guest from your discard pile. Now, that's not family. Family are not casual, so that's only somebody that would have come out of that deck. But that's still very powerful, more powerful than Zachary. So I'm going to flash out here and stop torturing you with focus. I'm going to just throw my stuff over there rather than put it at the bottom of the deck, playing solo. So I've got Ezekiel, and these 2 come back. They go in the discard pile. I'm going to buy this butler's pantry. And that's going to be 400 because I'm going to discount the butler's pantry by putting the useful man to work on it. And that will get me an under butler. Mr. Under Butler, come on along. Okay. Gonna flip that. I have a billiards room. Okay, let's go ahead and roll for the A. Whoa, I missed my own dice tower. A 20. That is a refresh. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a wild card, huh? I don't like that because I wanted that brushing room and I like that gable conservatory. So I'll set that over here and I'll reach in and grab 6. Well, I got some service tiles. I have a carriage house, a housekeeper's room, a servant's quarters. That doesn't displease me. A croquet lawn, a drawing room, and a cabinet of curiosities. Well, holy smoke, I guess I'm not complaining on that. That's rather interesting. Hold on a sec. There, I wonder what I'm interested in. My favorite tile in the world. I'll put 2 on there because I may need another one of those. So actually, I'm going to put 3 on there because I got more over here. Emphasize. So we have done that, and they have refreshed, but they do not purchase. However, it's important to note that I have to subtract 5 from the next roll. Round 2, rotate service. Check the round track. Nothing is over there. No monument, no servants' hall. I'm now going to host my activity. I'll set it up, and we'll talk about it. So here we are set up. Let me flash in there. Push those up a little bit. And really, it's time we talk about this. Actually, it's past time. But with this one, we have 3 for essentials. I don't care. I almost never, playing solo, fail to do that, even when I can tie. It just is too valuable, particularly with the useful man. So just FYI on that. So that's why I'm playing that. Service is 2. I like that because I've got 3 service tiles out there. I don't think I'm really in the market for estate, but I can comfortably be in great shape to tie. So what I think I'd like to do is I'd like to do win, tie, and maybe if something comes down the market and I can get into that drawing room, maybe I can actually win 2 of the 5 and push one other. That would be a good plan against such a difficult opponent. So we're going to go here and get our benefits. I'm going to take 100 pounds for the young man. I'm going to take an invite. Oh! We have the beloved American heiress early on. Not so beloved at scoring, although she's dynamite. If I had to pick an American heiress, she's cream of the crop. So put her over there. That's going to help me do a little of the shopping that I want to do. So I'm not going to buy from the market. I'm going to bank that 200. Actually, I don't really have any choice without I think about it. I've got 200, no reputation, and my useful man is not used. I have to be very careful not to use him in round 3 and make him unavailable for the village fair unless I can get that servant's hall. So that's something I have to be quite careful about. So this is banked, and let's go ahead and roll AI. We subtract 5 from this, which makes it more likely to be in the first. And we have a 6, and it's a 1, so they are going to take the carriage house. Slide that down, and it'll make that delicious servant's quarters cheaper. You know what? I love me a cabinet of curiosities. That's just And a barn comes out. So unfortunately here, I am handcuffed a little bit. Normally you don't like to lean into an American heiress by playing prestige all around her because you're giving up 3. I want to use her when I'm at 1. But I don't want to use my main gazebo. I can't use my other lady because I can't use 2 ladies' maids. Maybe keeping that mother would have helped. And I'm just handicapped because he's a 2. So I have to play these 2 now. And that's going to be rough because it's going to get me to a spot where I'm not going to be able to play next turn. But I'm actually all right with that. And you'll see how that plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and provide service there. I'm going to net 2 reputation. And I'm going to get 600 pounds. Break this down. I needed to tie in that courtship category. That's too important. I could have gone there and not wasted that 3 reputation, but I'm losing this certainly, and it would cause me to lose this as well. So I'm going to be buying the servants' quarters. It's going to cost me 500. And a long gallery comes out. I like all that prestige coming out. Go to our AI. 1, we're going to take the housekeeper's room. So we have turn a little bit there. We have a village fair round. So we rotated service already. We placed our useful man on the private study. We're going to get 500 pounds and 2 reputation. The good news is we have a way to win 2 categories and tie in a third. I'm going to be passing. Before I bring up the passing flow chart, I looked at what the Reverend had, and I really like this one because I'm going to buy that drawing room. You might say, why not buy the Cabinet of Curiosities? Well, the Cabinet of Curiosities is not a great path. I have 1s. I'm going to be at 2 shortly, and when I get to 2, I can use my useful man to go ahead and get into that drawing room right away. So it represents a path, a very good path, where I can skip over the 2nd level. If I get that Cabinet of Curiosities, great for a later play. Just love it to death. And we're going to have Emily Bronte clear this stuff out, unfortunately. But I think that this is better to get this now for $100 while I'm going to do a higher as well. So I'm going to leave that one on top, and you'll see how that plays out. So passing flow chart comes up on the screen. You see that I am in the mode of going to the sideboard for the Reverend. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to go out here, and I'm going to bring the Reverend back and put him in the activity square. Passing flow chart will come back up. And now I can drop down, and I can actually hire on a pass turn. So it'll come back down, and I'll set him there. We're going to go to our butler's room. We're going to use our butler. And we are going to hire 2 servants, the lady's maid and the cook. We're now winning this category right here. We are going to spend on the drawing room £400. Pick that up. We are now winning in this category here. We're tied here. This was hopeless, and this I gave up intentionally. So a business room came in, and we'll go ahead and do the AI action. You might say, why are we bothering with an Emily Bronte? Because they're going to remove a tile from the game, which is significant, and they give us a actual number to work with in case it's a 20, and we need to modify it, or actually a 16 to 20. So we do lose a croquet lawn, which I love, and there's only 1 left. Oh, sorry about that, Reverend. I'll set you down. No, those don't. I don't have to organize those now. So we go to courtship. Let's reveal our courtship, and it is, damn, is what it is. That's not what I wanted to see. So we get a VP card is going to go. I'll just set them right there. And now we have to discard an objective. I'm going to discard these ladies. Put it in there. We are going to seed 2 more cards, which is something I can look at, a housekeeper's room and a butler's room. Now that actually is interesting. One of the interesting things is when you pass right before a courtship, you're going to see more cards up there in the tennis court, cricket field, croquet lawn. Okay. And we have to do the Emily Bronte. I'll do that for you off camera. So the Emily Bronte market refresh, we have a barn that hit the reserve, business room, croquet lawn, breakfast room, English garden, West Saloon, and long gallery. Not the most exciting market if you ask me. I'm not liking how this thing is going so far. So you think I would learn. You know, I was sort of a tough dad. I was a disciplinarian. But with my cats, I'm not a disciplinarian. I left the door open and went across the board. Fortunately, I had just put the first season into Premiere Pro and I could reconstruct it. So I think I got everything right. Oh, stand up. Clean things up. All right. Season 2. Let's begin. We go to round 6. Let's follow our order of play. Sometimes I get careless and do not do that. We're going to rotate our service. We have our Reverend waiting for us. Check the round track, nothing there. I don't have any other goodies that I could check at that point. So we're going to host an activity. Let me set that up for you. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do. I don't even have to, well, you know, I will set it up. We're going to be going to the main gazebo because we did get ourselves a cook who is in the servants' quarters, and we want to take a look at the goodies. So one of the reasons I passed, shamefully so early, was I only had 7 usable cards for season 1, and I started with 6. I know you guys are whispering, you know, he's not really very good at this, is he? My other one wasn't usable because he was a 2, this guy here. So I've got to fix that. I've got to start getting some invites in. So let's take a look at what we're doing. We're going to the main gazebo. We have Miss Adelaide Howe and Beatrice Viscountess York. She's using her ability to exempt that guest from needing a lady's maid. I have the Reverend over on the tile. And I am going to, I think, hold off. I don't really need to hold off on the cook unless I want to use the useful man. And I don't think I do. So I'm going to do this right like that. And let's go ahead and tally up the total. There's 100 pounds. This is not all the coins, by the way. I have some in the other room I was using for another purpose. And we have reputation. We have 2 reputation because we have one from the cook and one from Miss Adelaide. And then we have invites, which is C2, take 1 here. Oh, just great. You know what I actually have to do here? I have to take Roger, Viscount Benton, the CAD, because even though that's really a rather tasty little card, as far as the penalty being small and the money being large, I need more invites. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take him. He goes over there, and I'll toss him to the side. And then we have, give me a drum roll, please. Yes! We have Lady, wear your glasses, Dan. Lady Eleanor Palmer. And 2 invites come with her, so that's outstanding. And so let's go ahead and break this down, and I'll do that, and we'll come back for a purchase. I decided to go ahead for this business room. It's early enough, the beginning of season 2. I have the man of the house, the Lord of the Manor, ready to go. So I'm going to pick that up. That is going to cost me 200 pounds. We have a gabled conservatory back in the market. That's excellent. So I hung on to that, this one right here. And now we get to resolve the Reverend. So at this point, we're enjoying favors and wrapping up our turn. We're taking back this pile right here. And I had settled a little bit on this because I have half of it. But let's see what came in if anything else grabs me. I have none of those. No. I have one of those, but that's 1 point less, even though it would be easier. I don't know, smoking room. And now that I think about it, a housekeeper's room got snapped up. So there's one less in the bag. That's bad. There's only one in the bag. I got rid of that trash. So I'm taking that. So what do? I take this. Let me flash out. I take this. I put it here, and I choose one of these cards I want to throw into the Reverend's pile. That goes back there. My footman comes back to my expended service, and the Reverend goes back. Actually, it's probably vice versa. The Reverend goes back, and my footman comes back. Either way, Reverend is back in his chapel, and I have my footman in expended service. So now I pay 100 pounds donation to the church for the consultation with the Reverend, which went quite well. So I'm very pleased. And time to roll our AI. We have a 9. A 9 tells us position 3. Dang! Hate to lose an English garden, I'll tell you that. Coming into the market, we have a billiards room again. And let's move on to round 7, objective card round. First thing we're going to do is rotate our service. Slide over here, check the round track. Why, indeed, we do. So I have 2 new. Well, that one, nope, that's no good. That's one of the new ones that's a majority bonus. We have the main library, North Library, which could work very synergistically with the conservatory and the library. But getting 2 libraries, man, that's a tough slug. And next, another majority bonus. And next, this is a good one. Long game, almost sure to get 5 in a column. Very good. I like where my objectives are. I think I've tuned them up. I don't know about the library one, but it could maybe drop in my lap. And we're going to be going to the business room. We have the man of the house. We have no service requirement, which is awful nice. Whoops, I forgot to flip that, didn't I? You are cussing me out. Sorry. Remember my middle name, Forgets a Lot. Dan Forgets a Lot, Halligan. And so what we do is we take the 200 pounds from the Viscount's favor. We flip this over. We put it into our tableau. We put the 200 pounds on there. And what I'm doing here, the reason I'm doing this now, it may seem like a little bit of a sidetrack from trying to catch up to this beast here. The reason I'm doing that now is because I want to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll get 1,000. I'll have 1,200 on that tile when it comes for the Builder's Holiday. And that could allow me to do a lot of damage. It's soon enough that I think that's a smart play. And I love my purchase, which is the croquet lawn. That's only 100 pounds. I just love the utility of that tile. We have a Heritage Guest Suite, and we have an AI roll. Oh, shit. That's twice I missed it. And we have a 17, no purchase. I've got to put that on my card there to remind me to subtract 5. Moving on to round 8, we are going to rotate service. We are going to add 200 to my business room tile. There's nothing on the round track, and I don't have any goodies. So we're going to host the drawing room. I'm going to stick with this one rather than just set it up, in case people haven't seen a lot of combos. So I'm going to place the useful man to reduce that 3 to a 2. I'm going to place the cook up there. I'm going to place the butler here. I'm going to play Lady Eleanor Palmer and Ezekiel Stanhope, an American heiress. Now, isn't that just a great party going on? So I have 2 ladies' maids, and I have a gentleman being taken care of by our valet. Now, isn't that sweet? Let's zoom in. You got to love when a plan comes together. So let's start at the top and take a look at our money. We're going to be picking up 600 pounds from the young lady. reputation, we are going to wash with the drawing room and pick up one here. Now, I know some of you are saying, Dan, you are an idiot because you keep wasting the reputation on your purple tiles. Just stick with me here. Just stick with me because I'm going to get that bad boy and we're going to recover our reputation. Right now, I need some money to make sure I get certain things. So, so we've done our reputation and now our invites. Look what we have. I love this. So we're taking one off the top here. Judas. I swear, when I do playthroughs, all these sort of just drift up to the top of the deck and then turn themselves over when they see my fingers coming and they chuckle and I turn it over and it's red. This is why I created you, Bucket. However, this is a phenomenal bad guest because of this +2. So we're going to actually leverage that a little bit. And what else do I... Now, I should have used his screen over there. So I'll go back for his screen. That's Honorable Ezekiel Stanhope. Oh, my. Well, you know what? I've got such garbage, although I can't get rid of the American heiress. I've got a cad. I've got a scoundrel. I'm going to take the pauper because I want that prestige invite, even though he's 200 pounds. And because I'm going to end up bringing the constable. It's that simple, or I'm going to get to the backside of the French Garden. So I would normally never send you packing, Sir Richard Beeston, but you're going packing because I am going to be generous to this pauper with great connections. So put her over there. And now, give me a drum roll, baby. Give me a drum roll. Whoosh. We have a new card, you can tell, prototype. A tile flipper, which doesn't really benefit me now. So I've got to think of buying a brown tile and using his tile flipping ability to help with potentially a brown courtship, because we haven't consulted this in a while. I can obviously win a courtship. I'm winning the courtship now with one because I did the business room. You know, I did take a look at that off camera, and that was part of my thinking. But I could even reinforce that with a strong flip of like a West Saloon would put me in shape for season 3 on brown. And in here, I want to get that barn, and I think I'm going to get that barn. Am I going to get that barn this season? I don't know. We ignore that. And I think I'll look good over here, although I got to do something with that croquet lawn. I like my recovery so far. So he is going to be a guy that I need to acquire a tile for. I think that's so important with these 2 new aesthetes coming in. You need a tile that is going to be the target of that favor. So let's see, what else do I have? I've got, I can dip here and I can pull her back. She's my only casual guest in my discard pile. So she comes back. So now I'm stretching my gentry a little bit. I'm going to pick up this long gallery. It's going to be 600. All right, we had a tennis court come in. Not exactly thrilling. I mean, you look at that market. It doesn't really give me a lot of excitement. Maybe that billiards room is worth an attempt. Time for an AI roll. Subtract 5 from that. And we have 18 minus 5 is 13. It's position 5. The Heritage Guest Suite. And grab out a carriage house, which goes over here. Reach in the bag here. Grab out a North Library. We'll get a little of that library taste coming out. I've got an objective card in the market. Conservatory and a North Library and half of another. Interesting. We move on to a Village Fair round. So let's go ahead and follow the order of play. So we're going to rotate service with this big giant pyramid. I love a servant pyramid because that means you just had a great go, a great activity. 200 pounds into my business room. Whoa, sorry, chaos. No cats to blame, just clumsy Dan. So we are on, we've got our 200 pounds there. It's the Village Fair round, so we take 1, 2. We're going to take from expended service, and that's what that reminder is right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that reminder up there just to remind me again. We put him on there, and that's going to net us 500. And let me go ahead and set this up for you. So our smooth-talking scoundrel has expanded the attendance at the croquet lawn by 2. So that's his ability. It's a prerequisite that you must have 2 more for him than the actual invitations on the tile. So it's 4 now. 4. And so look at this. This is the bomb. I'll tell you what, Horatio Tarleton, our scoundrel, I don't think he's going to find a whole lot of productive fleecing going on here. Allison Thatcher is rather impoverished. She's somewhat humble. He hasn't inherited much yet, so it's not going to be a big take. But let's see what we got money-wise. 200 down to 100. down to minus 100, up with his 100 to break even. So we brought in 300 and we had to send out 300. He fleeced us for 100 and we helped out Allison. Let's look at reputation. We have 2 here, and that's going to go 1, 2 and get us up to 3. And let's look at our invites. We have a single invite and we have a prestige invite. The single invite, another prototype, what I call the British heiress. It is an industrialist. Let me read this one here for you. Septimus Pankhurst. Is that, let's just focus here. Let's flash out. Is that not the best name ever? Horatio Tarleton's pretty good. Sorry, I get distracted. Septimus Pankhurst, founder of the Derby Iron Works, now owns an estate in Bath. I just love that card. I don't know that I love the -3 victory points. Put that over there. And then we have an invite from, not bad, but I still only have 1 prestige invite. And so now I'm starting to think a little something. And I'm thinking that the Dowager is going to have to help me get my prestige deck tuned up, because I'll tell you what, I am not even going to be in the same country as Gwynedd on score at 277 if I don't have 50 plus in my prestige deck. I think I'm going to the Dowager on my next pass. So we're done here. We're done here. We took our reputation. We spent our money. And we're going to go ahead and clear. A barn wins me this. This is going to get cleared. So I got to ask myself, is there anything else I would like? And you know what? I have an intent of playing my aesthete in the national holiday round. And if I'm going to do that, I think I need a tile flip target. I don't want to flip the long gallery, because that's what I'm playing. I can't flip it because that's what I'm playing on my national holiday. So I'm going to go ahead, pass. I'm going to stay. I might lose here, but I'm going to pass and get one of the better targets for an aesthete, which is to flip the West Saloon. And that cost me 500, and I've used my useful man over here, so that's all 500 there. And I slide this down, and you know what? I will go ahead and we have a 3. We will remove the breakfast room, and then that's going to get flushed by the Emily Bronte variant for the market. Let me do that. So I won't worry about that just now. What we're going to do is slide over. We're going to take a look at courtship. Bam! Ho, 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 ho. That's what I'm talking about. We got one. That's good. Let's see. Oh, boom, stop, freeze, don't move, don't do anything. This gets discarded so fast, my fingers are on fire. Please. No. I mean, she's fine and all. I don't have any invites. And then we're going to take young lady Elizabeth, because I need those invites. I got to get those invites. I got to put these in my discard pile. Pay attention, Dan. We will deal with the reserve for the prestige rated 1 tiles when I do the Emily Bronte, and we have to discard an objective card. And I think I got to ask myself, am I ever really going to hire a hall boy? I got to have bigger goals than that, so I'm not going to hire I'm not going to hire a hall boy. Sorry, hall boy. You're the most underutilized of the upstairs, downstairs servants. I'll flash back out. Let me settle out here, and I'll do the Emily for you. All right. Interesting Emily. We had a retiring room go to the reserve on the PR1. We had a housekeeper's room coming in. Hillside Kennels, like a bad penny, the Gable Conservatory. The Cricket Field, Long Gallery, Great Hall, and oh my. Well, that's we obviously would like a couple of those. I have a Long Gallery. Don't do that, Dan. Do I do something about that Gable Conservatory? I think I'm going to keep my eye on that. That's very interesting. Let's kick it over. National holiday time. Let's do our order of play. We have rotate service. Come on, Dan. Come on. Keep it together. We checked the round track. We have the national holiday. I do need my 200 here. No servants hall, no monument. We're going to host our activity. It's going to be Long Gallery. Let me set it up. I'll get back to you. All right, we're back. Let's pop in a little bit. So we have an invite of 4 on the national holiday. We're going to pick up that reputation there. I'm obviously arrowing for this. I'm not going to reach it, so I've got to sweat this one out a little bit and maybe bank some money. But let's take a look at what we have. We have money-wise, we have 500 coming in. And we go and we look at reputation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 is 9. So this would be 10 would be to go to 5, so we're right there. Then we look at invites, and we have 1 from her here. Not bad. At least it's not an unsavory guest. I'm happy. And then we have 1 from here. Booyah! Love it. That's what I've been looking for right there. And then we look and we have a tile flipping ability. We are going to flip the West Saloon onto the backside for 5 juicy points. And we're done. Not a bad national holiday. I'll break it down. So we're going to bank that 500. Let me pop out. We're going to bank that 500 because we're going after that Manor Gargoyles. It's a big deal. I am playing the variant where evil Gwynedd, evil York, evil Gwynedd. I'm York. I'm good York. Good York versus evil Gwynedd is going to be going for that monument. And if we look up here, we have 1 to 7 chance of that monument being snapped up. So we're really crossing our fingers that thing survives. There's not much of a consolation prize left in the market if that thing goes. So we'll have to cross our fingers. Here we go, baby. Oh, 1. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. That goes over here. Oh, jeez. That's going to make it so hard. It's going to make it so hard. It's going to make it so hard. It's killing me. I'm reaching the bag. Oh, a consolation prize. Excellent. It's not really what I wanted. I've got an existing courtship here, and so I really wanted to keep the pedal to the metal and just sort of stretch that out to try to get to the same level. They're ahead of me at this pathetic 2 versus their 27 this round. Oh Lord. Anyway, so that's done. Good. Let's move it on. We're going to round 12. We're going to rotate our service. We are going to add 200. I have 800 here, so I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to put $1,000 on that tile there. Nothing on the round track, no goodies. And so I'm getting after that imported marble floor. Let's see how I can do that. Alrighty, here we go. Let me flash in. We have 2 lovely ladies. And let's take a look at our money. We got 300, and that's it. So we get 300 there. We look at our reputation. We have 5 reputations, so we're going to go all the way to 6. But I'm going to leave that. Well, I'll do that since that's just a flipper. Whoops, I'm missing my extended 7. I'll get that in a second. So we're at 6, and we have a invite here. Oh, get her with the lady of the house and can exempt that housekeeper. Very nice. And I think we're done here, so we're going to go ahead and break this down. Put that here. We don't flip. Ladies in the discard pile. And so that's 1,100, which makes that 1,000. I have 800. So I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4 on special actions. I'm at 5 now. No problem. I'm going to make max. So, boom, gets me that. Pull that in here. Pick up a reminder tile. And we got ourselves, oh, flash out, Dan, doing that whole thing without focus. Could hear the cussing going on. And so we are done with that turn, except I believe I actually have to pay for that. Do that, put that in there. Reach in the bag, and we have a music room. That's nice. I'm going to want to pick that up. I don't know what to do about that Gable Conservatory. So let's do our 13. Position 5, Great Hall. That one doesn't bother me too much. I don't really need the Great Hall. In the bag, what do we got? A tennis court. Moving on to the Builder's Holiday. Actually, I'm not going to have 1,200 because I'm taking it out this turn. So that's being removed. This is being flipped back, and I can tell you that's not getting reflipped. That's certainly not going to be productive. So I checked the round track. It is Builder's Holiday. Monuments, I do have a monument, so I go up there. Servants Hall, no. I'm going to host an activity. Did I forget to rotate service? Even looking at the order of play, I went right over top of the rotate service. I have to think that Mary Countess Coventry is really depressed at the seating arrangements. She's got a cat on one side and an industrialist on the other. She's probably going to run away from the York Manor so fast, you will see just a puff of dust. That's hilarious. All right, what do we got in the way of money? We got 600. Great time to have a big pull. Got a Builder's Holiday. So, sorry, hit my mic. Reputation, we lose 1 here, we lose 2 here. That's losing 3. We pick up 4, we pick up 5, we pick up 8, we pick up 9. So we pick up 9 and we lose 3 is 6. So we're going to flip back to 6 and pop ahead 1. Let me make sure I did that right. That's 4, 3, 7, 6, 5, 6. Yes, I did that correctly. And we get a VP card. Woo! Ooh, a little reputation. Not bad, but a nice 4 points. And we are done. All right, it's Christmas in October. And we have 1,600 to spend on a Builder's Holiday. Let's go over here. We're going to pick up a barn for 200. We're going to pick up a carriage house for 300. That's 500. Put that over here. We are going to pick up a music room for 700. Put that there. Going to pick up that gabled conservatory for 1100. And that goes there. What do we know? 1100. I took somebody out of there. I'm sure I did. We have a smoking room and a main library that came out. Now, the main library is interesting here. It's also interesting here, although I don't have a library. It would get me halfway there, but that smoking room would get me here. So really, if I could get those 2 tiles, I would have completed this, this, and this, and that would be 28 victory points. And that main library would let me get an additional objective card, which maybe I could then leverage here, which that would get me to 40 victory points. That's the kind of number you need when you're going against Gwynedd the Monster. Slide that over there, and let's see what we got. 10. That is position 3. Long gallery, I already have that. That just makes things I want cheaper, so I am not objecting to that. And we have a queen suite coming out. First suites, no, we had a heritage suite a little bit earlier, so second suites tile. Moving on to round 14. Let's rotate service. Get our reputation for our monument. I know you can't see everything that's going on over in my world. Reputation from the monument. There's nothing on the round track. I don't have a servants hall. We're going to host an activity. And that's going to be a pass, because I have 1 card left. So that is a pass. And I'm going to surprise you, because I'm going to go to the Dowager. And the reason that I'm going to go to the Dowager is I love my service situation. I don't really need to hire on this pass. And I do need 50 plus on my gentry poll. Just simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab Count Vladimir Antonov, expelled from Tsar Alexander's court for intrigue. The proud count is visiting the Dowager Marchioness. So I've got the Count Antonov. He goes in my pile. I send over. I passed, so all this goes over. I send that there. And I take the Dowager's carriage and I bring it over. And we go on to a courtship. Let's see what it is. Interesting. What do I have? 5. What do they have? They went down to 4. I wasn't even paying attention to green as a significant thing. It's getting dark in here. I'm so sorry. So I won a courtship. Cartwheels. Let's see what we get. Boom. Where is my deck? I got to fish out the lady and put her back in it. Sorry, Charles. I'm eyeballing Charles, but again, I got to get my prestige number up, for prestige guest number up. And we don't have any housekeeping except getting rid of one of these. And now I'm going to get rid of this, even though, I can always, this is a good thing. I got to get rid of it now, but I could go back and get that in a future pass if I actually take another pass, which is possible. So boom, that goes there. And we have to clear this market, which had some things in there. Good morning. I left off last night with flushing the market with the Emily Bronte flush. And so I start today by just restocking it. We got a lot of tiles that came in. We had a fence paddock and a retiring room, a servants' hall and a brushing room. It's sort of a dull market. Well, it does bring in the smoking room, which I like a lot. You know what? Who doesn't like a French garden? So it's not all that bad. Flower room, too small to play in season 4. That there is just to get an objective. So that's smoking room, and then 3 brown tiles, which I would love to get that extra objective, but we got a north dining room, parish church. I would love that at a different time. Main library, and then the French garden, which is always delicious for the 2 front side prestige guest invites. And we are now going to, and I have this marked there because that should be marked there, and we're going to get to the village fair. And let's play round 16. If you recall, no refreshing, because I had passed last turn and I had gone and got the Dowager's carriage, and I had brought into my hand, where is he, as a refresher, the Count, who I plan on using in the upcoming event. We do have a monument reputation here, so we're going to tick over to 7. That's a 5, Dan. And I'm missing my 7. I never went and got that. Like I said I was. Where are you? There you are. I'm at a 7. And we look at the round track, and we do have a village fair. Going to take our useful man, put that useful man out to work, building up the booths and the displays and the little stage at the front of the commons. And we're going to get 2 reputation, and we're going to pick up 500 from that village fair. Do that. We're going to be going to the music room. Let me set that up for you. Oh, doggy. I can't even flash in because of the size and scope of this event in the music room. This is a family recital, I believe. Let me check. It's a family recital. We have the Dowager's carriage parked out front. We have the cook preparing her larded oysters and her kidney pie. We have everybody deployed. So every servant is deployed. He was deployed down at the village fair. We have the carriage house in use here, and I moved that up in my row because you couldn't see it down below here. And that allows us to get to 6 because the 3 we invite to the family recital has got a +2 on our scoundrel. And he's got better prospects here as far as someone to fleece. So we get up to 5 and 6 with the carriage house. We have the lady's ability exempting Elizabeth Fairchild from needing a servant. And we have the count, which had come over from the Dowager. And we've got ourselves quite the recital. Let's total up the goods. We're a little short on money. We got -100, -200. So we've got to go here and just have 300 left over. Not a money play. Reputation, though, we've got 2, 4 is 6, 7, 11, 12. So that is 5 to 8. That is 10, 11, 12. So we are at max. I'm going to leave that up here in case I trade away some reputation, which I expect that I will do. And then we have invites, and this should be an adventure. She's going to use her dismissal, the mother, and I was contemplating using Septimus. I never used him. Put him back in my pile. But he is going to dismiss her, the American heiress, who's -2 points. So she's gone. So she's not using her casual invite, but we do have a casual invite here. Not bad. Even a victory point, we'll take him. And we have 1, 2, and a screened prestige. So we have 3 prestige invites, and the first one is going to be screened. So let's do that. So the first one is screened. Oh my gosh, good and bad, right in one screen. Look at that, 2 points and really lame favors. Goodbye, honey. And we love the Duke. Richard, Duke of Longford, goes in there, and then we've got 2 straights. Come on, give me big victory points. Not necessarily huge victory points. Well, no, she's good. Got to have my glasses on. But he's got an invite there. Love it. Goes in there. So we have finished with our invites. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. And we have a VP card coming. Only 3 points. Sometimes that can be useful. If I can amass some money, I can make some purchases to help the tableau. So I'm not going to complain. Not complaining here. How about that? Every servant. It's not often you see that. I love making what I call a cheer pyramid here. I'm going to break it down, but just so we see, the Dowager's carriage goes back. This footman comes on top of the cheer pyramid, and I'll break it down for you. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about my tableau. I just ran through my head, and I'm at 52, and I've only got maybe 3 purchases left, unless I use that. And right now I'm going to have to make a pretty humble purchase. Like, I'd like to get after that French garden, but I really need that 10 points, and then I might have to go over to that library to get this. But the smoking room will get me this. I really hope I pull something in the way of an objective card to help me out. So we're going to go ahead and buy this for 400. I got 300 there. I'll go back here, take that, put that there, take the smoking room, and we have to order things according to their number. Anybody who knows me. I doubt I'm playing that smoking room, although I could play the Duke or someone else in that thing. So I slide down here and we're running this, bumping in the way of my mic stand. Actually, I'll put it on top. There we go. Another drawing room comes out over here, and we have a roll. 11 yo. Sorry, a craps player here. Position 4. Main library. Son of a gun. I'm going to have to get bailed out on my objectives because I'm not getting this. Well, I guess I have the ability to refresh. I'm not gonna give up yet. I reach into the bag here. And we have a walled garden. That is a promo. I'll reach in the bag here. We have another music room. This isn't what I want. I need a monument. I got 1 more left that I can pull. We move on to round 17. Now, you might say I'm sort of dead in the water here, except that I think this late in the game, it's important to spend this in order to be able to pull off a big event. So let me look at my deck and think about that. And indeed, I'm going to do that. I am going to spend that to refresh everything in the cheer pyramid. And then I'm going to do something a little bit unusual. You're going to scratch your head a little bit. I'm going to immediately expend my under butler, acting as the butler, to go to the second chance servants and to get one second chance ladies' maid, which I put in the servants' quarters, which will be available to me this turn because I have the servants' quarters right here, if you can see it right there. It's going to allow me to get that French garden and do other very delicious things. So let's see what that is. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the carriage house being used for the 3 ladies on the gable conservatory. I can only invite a 4th lady. That's just because I can invite an extra person. You have to follow the restrictions on the tile. But I'm inviting this pauper, and that second chance servant is taking care of her, which is no negative because she's an unsavory guest. And I'm going to realize 700 minus 200, I'm going to get 500. We're going to get reputation of 2 here, and 1 from the cook. That's 3. 1, 2, 3 would be wasted. I'm going to come back 2, and I'm going to get 100 pounds. And since, let's see, and then we have invites. We have a prestige. Again, 3 victory points. I'm actually looking more for victory points than I am for these invites, which are flowing in, but still, good guest. And then we look at casual invites, and we have C4, take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just be all red. Did they percolate up to the top? Only 1 red. And look, victory points. I got the twins. These are the twins. This is Lady Victoria and Marianne Turner. Ha, that's pretty cool. So I've got 2 victory points from that. Happy about that. And we have some extracurriculars, which is a VP card, which we never sneer at. 4 victory points, $300. I want that French garden. It's 800. I have 600. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is why I kept this around, because that's going to be milked. That's coming off. I'm getting that French garden. And I did forget to pay. That goes in there. No money. So we had a cabinet of curiosity come in. We're going to, flash out. We have a 3 coming in. The flower room departs. We slide down. And we pull a music room. That's a promo. And we pull a laundry. That's a promo. I'm showing you a real professional way to play. And we pull a garden maze. That's our last monument. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. I had moved over this under butler. When I saw him in expended service, I said, what's he doing there? I must have left him behind. Actually, he was the under butler that I expended in order to get the second chance servant. Now I've got some real tension here. I want to play both these tiles. This here, I could play now and I could play this, but I would leave in my discard pile a lot of great guests that wouldn't get played again. I had planned on wanting to dismiss with the constable these 2. Do I have another negative guest over here? Yeah, I got the pauper. And see, I got 4. I got the scoundrel. So I wanted to use the constable by passing this turn to set up a huge French garden, but then I would be neglecting the smoking room. And I'm torn. I really don't. I'm going to pass. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to use the constable. So we are going to do a final pass. Whoops, I must have banged that. That's going to be able to set up a very large French garden turn. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I was just giving you a little bit of my agonizing. We're moving to round 18. I really need to get bailed by objective cards here. I really do, because I'm going to that constable, and I can't go to him, so we got to hope. Well, I could get 6 points for that. That's not the kind of numbers I need. Oh! That would be 7 points. Still not the kind of numbers I need. I could make both of those, so I have 1. Not happy. All right, let's take our monument reputation. Puts us back to max. I'm going to leave that there and do a lot of borrowing, I think. Okay, I have refreshed my service. I've got my deck back. It's a good thick deck. And I'm going to go over here to the constable. Bring the constable back over here. This might result. I don't think I'm going to beat them, but any chance I have, I think, is lost by me getting compressed here in the last season. So I'm going to pass, and if I pull up on the screen, you'll see the flow chart. First, I'm going to make my decision about the sideboard. I'm going to go to the constable, bring him back to my activity squared on my player board. Now I'm going to hire, so I'm going to go to the butler's room. It's going to come here, and I am going to hire a valet and a footman. And then I'm going to take him and I'm going to expend him to get a second chance footman and a second chance valet, which are going to come in here. And you're probably thinking I'm absolutely crazy. So I'm done with my turn. I am not going to buy from the market. Do I want to buy from the market? I've got some reputation I could spend because I am going to get some reputation, I would think. Nothing really jumps out at me that's not that. This is so important that this not be a 1 to a 7. A 19! Absolutely outstanding. I will put that there to remind me to subtract 5 from that, so it didn't take anything. So now we go on to round 19. We're going to fresh these guys in here. We're going to fresh these guys over here. And let me set this up for you. You better buckle in. I'm going to make some room. You better buckle up. Okay, people. I'm trying to go out in a flash of glory. So, I'm gonna sequentially flash in so we can savor this. We are hosting in the French Garden. We have the constable. We have 6 gentry to be invited, and we have the cook on there. I'm going to be creating a special meal for the whole stay for everybody. Let's pop out here. Well, let me do this. Let me flash out here, just to let you know that I did have to refresh to get 1 valet. I had the second chance servants I hired here, and I took that footman out of the servants' quarters. So I did have to burn some reputation here. So she's got service. This is a second chance servant on an unsavory guest, so there's no negative. Because the constable's here, there's no negative for any unsavory Brit, which would be this guest and this guest. He is not an unsavory guest. Can we see? Let me slide back there. Can we see? I'll go up close in a second. So I do have to pay the 100 there. Put the 100 here and the 2 reputation there, and the penalties for these servants is all gone because of the combination of the constable and the unsavory servant and guest. Got service here conventionally. Got a second chance servant there that we're going to get dinged for. She's going to exempt that housekeeper over here. And I really tried to figure out a way. I mean, I could have brought in another prestige guest in. Well, let me check that. Instead of the father, if I go back to here, I'm going to be at 7.5. I'm going to need 6 reputation. Let me see. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to lose those 2. Back to 2. Not losing that. That gets me to 6. Oh, my God. Plus, okay. Adjustment. Everybody settle. Take a deep breath. In and out. In and out. Where is he? Oh, look at that. Got the same 200 of the father. I'm going to refresh him. I'm going to go back to here. Oh, it's glorious. It's glorious. What am I reminded of that movie? Raiders of the Lost Ark, when Belloc opens up the Ark of the Covenant and he looks in and he says, it's glorious. No, it's beautiful. He says, it's beautiful. Of course, then he melts and dies. So let's see if I melt and die. And what do we, let me get up close and just talk a little bit more about some of the new stuff. So we've got the scoundrel who, trust me, being between these two, he's sharpening his claws, but he increases it too. And this carriage house play gets us from the 6 that's there to 9, which I'll flash out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10! I have 10! Sorry, sweetie. Oh, did I count that reputation? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Well, I could always go to this, because that gives me 5, doesn't it? It gives me nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it worth that invite to do that? Heck with it, I'm going to do it. So I got a little overeager there. I can only have 9. That's 6 plus 2 plus 1. So I can only have 9. So let me flash back in and do our walkthrough. So this is normal, this is normal, or this is normal. Here, you're getting a -2, which cancels that, which is going to probably have me spending this. I think it most definitely will. She's exempting over here. And That is canceled because of the constable's presence, and that has no negative. He was refreshed at great expense, and we've got the, is that the count? Yes, that's the count. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm just sort of glorying in the permutations, but I don't know that I did the cleanest big play that I could because I still have a lot of good guesses in that deck. So let's look at our money. 400, 300, 900, 800, 1,000, 1,600. Let's look at our reputation. We have 4, 5. Gonna cost me 4 victory points. Trust me, I would have probably gone back, but I don't think I'm going to beat him anyway, and I want you to see the glory. So now we're going to invites. We have take 2, a 4 and a 3, very nice, including a new gentleman, Rowland Earl Ashover, when not riding to hounds. The Earl prefers to entertain among the elaborate gardens surrounding his manor. He has a pickback of any guest from the discard pile, very nice. So we got that done. We come down here, we have a deadly, oh, now she comes along, but did get a victory point. Pleased with that. We have another one from here. 3 points, not bad. We have here, she has an invite, a screened invite, or I'm going to do a screened invite. I was going to dismiss 2 victory points for that guy. Got a curmudgeon here. This guy's great. Sir August Dankworth, curmudgeon. After 9 years in various foreign office posts, Sir August now lives quietly in Macclesfield. We screen 2 here. A 4 and a 4. So take one of those. And we get one here. 2, unacceptable. We got the money there. And VP cards. We have 1, 2, 3 VP cards. Give me a cheap 2. I've got an objective. Ooh. That objective card. That might be a winner. And we have a refresher. That's 5 points. That's good. And our third. Those are all good, but I'm going to have to burn that, aren't I? Let's see if I'm missing anything else. We look good. All right, I'm going to put this large event. Oh, wait, no. I want to make sure. So this guy comes along, and from this activity, he quiet, not him. He's good. I only have him. Okay, and I have, so he grabs these 2, have a quiet word. So let's spin it over. So this is the little parlor. And he's talking to these guests and sort of explaining realpolitik. And that is, there's really no room at the inn for you 4. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 9 victory points of pain removed by the constable. They're all Brits. So there is no trouble there. I could not dismiss an American heiress. So they are gone to the pile of despair. We'll swing back over here. Constable is then going to go back and going to come there, and I will break everything down. So I've broken everything down. Take a look at my cheer pyramid. What are you doing over there? You should be on top. That's a pretty good cheer pyramid, and I reserved him for my purchasing, so let's flash out. So I think I'm going to spend this 3 victory points and get a builder's market type of ability to shop endlessly in the market. It's not going to be that endlessly, because here I have 1,000. That would come here. I would like that, but that's 1,900, and okay, that was discounted. Well, no, I'll wait to discount the second one. So I'll put my 1,000 in, because you know what's my middle name? Forgets a lot. So I have 800 there, and that is, son of a gun, that's 800. That's, ooh, no, that's 700. Oh, but look at this. If I go 1, 2, look at that. I spend that. Go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go, that's max now. I'm going to go back 2, get 100. That's 700. That's 800. I'm going to get that. You trust me, it's down in my tableau. And he goes at the top of the pyramid. Let's look at that pyramid. Give me some love, folks. May not have been the most precise final round of a game, but it's the most entertaining you will ever see. Let's go ahead and move up to courtship. Now, if this comes up estate, all is lost, because if we take a look, that would give them 54 just in estate if it doubled. If it comes up in brown, I've got 13, they've got 15. I'm not going to even run the possible totals. All I know is I lose the final courtship with estate. Bam! Baby! All right. We I think, win this. So let's see what they have. They have 27 and 28 is 55, and 11 is 66. So let's see what we have. We have 11, 22, 23, 24, 25, 32. Well, that's 50. 64, 65, 66, 67, 70, 72. So there's 66. Yes, indeedy. We win that final courtship. We get another one of these. I've been spending these like they're candy. At least I'm getting some good numbers there. I still don't think I'm going to beat them. And I am, you know what? I feel bad for Charles. Even though I tried to help Charles out with the characters expansion, new Charles, I feel bad for Charles. So what are we going to do? We're going to put that back, and we're going to take Charles. We're going to go to Wedding Bells in the middle, and we're going to have Charles, and I think it's Miss Marianne, which is very, yes, Miss Marianne. It's not, shoot, I'm forgetting in Sense and Sensibility who Miss Marianne connects with. Colonel Brandon. It's not Colonel Brandon. He's younger, a little more dashing. So let's total up the final. I'll be back at you. So I did contemplate doing this VP card objective. And the problem is that I don't have that, and I don't have that. When I had the builder's market, I had no green in there. And when I think about it, I really didn't handle my extra reputation efficiently there at the end. So I'm sure it could have been played better. So I decided not to do that. It might get me, it'll give me 5 cards to score, and I might be able to score 4. But I don't know if, well, let's see if it would have been worth it. So I would have benefited by 1 victory point there. So not the end of the world. So we had 66 in our tableau, which I think is a nice number. I would have liked to hit 70. And then we had 74 in our Gentry card deck, which exceeded what I was shooting for. You know, I wanted over 50, but probably well over 50, and that's a nice number. So it gets me to 140. This killed my chances. I needed, with this and with some better management of my objectives, I should have been around 40. And I wasn't. I mean, I could have expended him to get a group. I misplayed. Max reputation. By the way, I missed my reputation for, oh my gosh, I put the Gable Conservatory back on the wrong side. So that's 3 more victory points. Hold on. So that's 69. That's 69. And that means, okay, I'll just put that at the bottom. You know, and I also forgot to take twice 2 barn reputation, which would have eliminated the need to spend one of those victory point cards for. So I think I stayed pretty clean on this, but when you get to filming and being distracted, and there was just some variables I didn't control, apologize. So there I'm at 207. Service, now I did penalize myself with 3 of those at -2 each. I had 24 there. And then no money. I think I sort of misplayed money down the stretch. So 225, 22 for these cards, 247, but actually it was 250 with the 3 points for the Gable Conservatory. And I lost to Gwynedd, Evil Gwynedd. I'm Good York, notice. Good York. Lost to Evil Gwynedd, 286 to 250. Could have theoretically won that with better play, but at least it was in the ballpark. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Thanks.